Hello, I'm Brenda from Tasting Scotland, a food and drink tour company, and I'm pleased to serve as a World Food Travel Association ambassador in Scotland. Today, we're celebrating World Food Travel Day, and I'm joined by Gary McLean, Scotland's national chef. So just before I bring you 60 seconds of Gary's food and drink story, Gary, what is a typical day like for you?
That's probably the worst question ever for me, because I'm very, very lucky that my days are never the same. So at the moment, this actual moment, I'm actually packing to go to New York. So I'm teaching at the Culinary Institute of New York on Thursday. And then Friday, Saturday, I've got about 15 events in New York to celebrate Scot Week. So looking forward to that. But a typical day for me, again, that's why I love hospitality and love what I do. It's just completely different every day. It's absolutely amazing.
And you're doing obviously a lot as well in education, aren't you? You're City of Glasgow?
Yeah, I'm executive chef at City of Glasgow. So I've been involved in education my whole career. I was part-time at the City of Glasgow College for 13 years. And then for the last 12 years, I've been full-time there. So, you know, education and bringing young people into the industry is my real passion. I really enjoy it.
And weren't you Scotland's first national chef, right?
I believe I'm the world's first national chef, Brenda.
Wow.
No country's ever done it before. And it's quite a kind of bold thing, I think, for a country to sort of nominate, you know, dare I say, a greasy cook to become a kind of a national a national kind of identity. But I think what it does is it kind of shows how serious Scotland is about its food and how passionate it is about its food and how proud we are of our food. You know, we're a tiny little country that punches well above its weight when it comes to, you know, what we deliver to the world in terms of food and drink.
It's definitely a must-visit destination, isn't it? I mean, people think about the whiskey, but I mean, there's so much to tell, isn't there, in Scotland's food and drink?
Yeah, I think from from the world looking in, the foodies looking in, I think whiskey is probably going to be the biggest thing they recognise Scotland for. I've been in places where they know the word whiskey better than they know the word Scotland. You know, and there's very, very few products in the world that can say that. You know, we have such an iconic brand in Scotland, you know, and it starts from our food and drink. But I think we're really lucky, and, you know, and I don't mind the shortbread image, you know, the bagpipes and the kilts and the tartans, because what it does is that it gets, dare I say it gets a kind of foot in the door. People are comfortable with Scottish people. We've got a kind of identity that goes before us. So I think we're really lucky. I think we're really lucky for such a small country that we've got so many iconic, you know, things that we can use to promote Scotland.
It's interesting, actually, because I often get asked the question, so what's the story with Scotland's food and drink then? And then obviously we talk about whiskey, and then I say things like, you know, the salmon and the seafood and etc., the berries. And then I can have someone from one of the Nordic countries saying, yeah, that's just Norway. Yeah, that's just Sweden. Yeah, that's Finland. What's different about Scotland? And for me, it's the fact that you can turn around and pretty much these products are right there. Whichever way you turn around, you've not got far to go to get them. We're such a small country and we're so lucky. 10,000 kilometers of coastline in itself, including the islands. I mean, seafood, of course, seafood's right up your street with Creel Cot, your own restaurant over in Edinburgh now. I mean, and I believe it's doing amazingly well, and it's a great place for seafood, I will say. If you're over in Edinburgh, get yourself down to Bonnie and Wild, the marketplace, and get some seafood from Gary. But I think we're so lucky, and the sooner we can get more people to appreciate what's truly the Scotland food and drink story, the better.
Yeah, most definitely. And I think in a world where we're looking at sustainability and we're looking at, you know, the ethics of where our food's coming from, you know, Scotland can stand proud in how it produces its food, right through from fish and shellfish, right through to beef and dairy and things like that. We've got a completely different approach to food, you know, and we're actually one of the most heavily regulated countries in the world when it comes to food, as the UK is in general. But I think, you know, as a small country, we've never had that option of stacking it high and selling it cheap. We've always went for quality. You know, and you talk about the difference between, you know, for instance, Scottish salmon versus salmon from Norway. You know, our salmon is slow growing. Our salmon it takes double the time to grow as a bit of, salmon from Norway, and that's why they can produce, 100 times more than we do, because we look at it differently, and we treat it differently, and we grow it differently.
Yeah, I think probably you're right. In terms of, Scotland hasn't lost necessarily a lot of its traditional roots, and it does give, and always has given, a real nod to Mother Nature, as it should be,
Yeah.
So, well, we could talk all day about Scotland's food and drink, Gary, you and I, that's for certain. But here's 60 seconds worth of questions that are going to come at you thick and fast now. So,
okie doke.
Are you ready?
Right, go.
Right. Food, sweet or savoury?
Definitely savoury.
Okay. What always makes your mouth water?
Oh, I think we spoke about it a lot. Shellfish. I love lobster, love langoustine, love mussels.
Oh, delish. Which 3 products would you always want at your birthday party?
Oh, food-wise, I think always for me is people, but I know that's not the question.
People's good, yeah.
I think to be fair, I think keeping it really simple, because I end up having to do most of the cooking even on my birthday. Keeping it nice and simple, and things like platters of seafood, beautiful smoked fish, things like smoked haddock and hot smoked trout and things like that, I think are amazing. Definitely need some of our amazing beers. I do like a beer. And lastly, I think you've got to have some wine there as well.
A little bit of wine.
You need a wee bit of wine as well.
Well, we do have one vineyard here, don't we? Or not so much a vineyard, but we have a fruit winery in the East Coast.
Yeah.
But who's your food or drink hero?
I think there's lots, and again, this question's probably changed in my life loads. I think for me, people like Willie Pike, who's a friend of both of ours. People like Bruce Sangster, who've been a stalwart of the Scottish food scene for 35, dare I say 40 years maybe, and also people like Willie McCurrock, who's been in education for 40 years. So I've got a lot of people, and all of these guys have helped me right throughout my career, so they're definitely my food heroes.
Oh, nice selection there. Which food or drink item could you happily live without?
Brussels sprouts.
I'm with you on that one. Which healthy food would you happily eat your weight of?
And I'm going to contrast that last question with vegetables.
Okay.
Celery, carrots, parsnips. Just simple, well cooked, tasty veg.
Tasty veg. Great soil in this country for arable crops, haven't we? Vegetables, etc. Who makes the best cocktail?
Oh, I'm going to say Bonnie and Wild.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually there sociably for the first time a couple of weeks ago, and I was with a group of friends, and they all had different cocktails. I tasted every one of them, and they were absolutely amazing. And I'm not a cocktail guy.
It's nice, isn't it, having Bonnie and Wild, this kind of marketplace over in Edinburgh, because I've always said what's missing in Scotland, and for me it's that kind of marketplace that's there 7 days a week, not just on a Saturday or a Sunday or a Friday night, but 7 days a week. It's amazing.
And it's casual as well, and it's got something for everyone.
Exactly.
Casual, very good casual dining. It's a new niche, I would say.
And a beautiful bottle shop as well, with Alfonso at the helm.
The
nice wee bottle shop's
amazing, yeah.
So picnic or campfire meal, Gary, and where would you go for it?
I think it would definitely be Outer Hebrides, without a doubt. Lewis, Harris, yeah.
Great
Some of the
spot.
beaches on Harris are like Barbados.
Yeah,
if you've not
indeed.
been, you need to go.
I can always remember the story about, or not the story, but the truth about the brochures, the brochures for Turkey, and the actual front cover. The beach was actually in Scotland, believe it or not, a few years ago. Favorite food travel memory? I know this is a difficult one because you're traveling out all the time with your job and what you do.
No, do you know what? I've got a cracking food story. Probably one of my best food experiences ever. So I was in Colombia. So I was on a beach and just beside the Darien Strait. If anybody knows a kind of Scottish history, that's quite an important place for us. And I was on this white sandy beach. I was on a chocolate tour, with Luca chocolate. And an amazing experience. And I just decided I needed a way. It was a group of about 30 people. I needed to get a walk down the beach. And there was this big, massive mango tree overhanging the beach. And there was this, they were all kind of pretty green, and I seen this yellow mango. And there was a kind of rotten mango on the ground. I flung the mango up, hit the right mango first time, that fell at my feet. And it just burst open as I touched it. I mean, it was amazing, absolutely amazing. Obviously, location and all of that go to that. And then straight after, I was sort of covered in mango and jumped in the sea.
Oh,
that was
fantastic.
I'm sorry it's not a Scottish memory, but...
It doesn't need to be. I thought you were going to say there that you took the mango back and you gave it to Bonnie and Will cocktail team and they made you a beautiful daiquiri with it.
No, never. It lasted about 30 seconds.
As it should be. So, Gary, you're raising a glass to celebrate. What's in your glass?
It'll be a Scottish beer.
Nice, nice.
Scottish
a nice craft beer.
Yeah.
Good for you. Brilliant. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much. This is Brenda Anderson with Gary McLean. We're in Scotland. We're celebrating World Food Travel Day. Have a great day. Thanks, Gary.
Bye-bye.